Hey, everybody. Welcome to week 2 of Digestion Solutions. I am so excited to share some of this content with you tonight. We're going to be here really quickly because we're only going to talk about one thing tonight, and that is the importance of digestive enzymes. So, if you give me 2 seconds, I'm just going to hook up my phone. That way I can hear you guys, or actually see you guys and see your comments. Make sure that you comment, because if you comment and let me know that you're here, then you'll get entered for oops, okay, there we are, we're live. You will get entered for a drawing. Hi, Katie, I see you. Hi, Sydney. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Betty. So what I really want to talk to you guys about tonight is digestive enzymes. And I will tell you that this is a topic that I did not learn about in graduate school when learning about the human body. I knew that my digestive system made them, but I didn't really understand how potentially my body was maybe deficient in them, or what things could cause me to actually need to supplement with digestive enzymes. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. And I will tell you this, the first time that I ever used one of the Terrazyme digestive enzymes, I love nuts. So if you love me, I love to eat like a handful of mixed nuts throughout the day. It's just my favorite snack with some raisins. Hi, Betty, I see you. Hi, Diane. And I was actually with Julie Davy, who you guys are familiar with. And sometimes if I eat too many nuts, like I know that I just don't make enough bile to sort of break down all the fat. And so I'll get a stomach ache. And I remember the first time she gave me a Terrazyme, and like immediately my stomach ache went away, bloating went away, and it allowed me to eat some of the foods that I love. Hi, Tracy. So let's just talk really quickly. You guys, during this month of digestion, I want to educate you a little bit about your digestive system so you can understand some of the things that are taking place in the digestive process, because I believe in empowering you guys. And when you can learn a lot about your body, then you understand why we recommend some of the things we recommend to help you digest better. And I have to say that this is probably one of the most important things that you can do for your health and wellness, because remember, digestive enzymes and their purpose is to actually break down the food that we eat into really small particles. So nutrients like amino acids. Hi, Jenny, I see you. So Jenny asked a great question. You can answer this later on, but can I open a capsule and dissolve in milk for kiddos? Yes, you can. And I'm going to tell you guys how to do that at the end. In fact, I recommend you could dissolve it in milk. You could also dissolve it, like say in applesauce would be a great thing. Hi, Celeste, I see you. You could also open it, Jenny, in a little bit of oatmeal. It's really interesting when you do that because you can see it actually start to break down the food. And I like to give kids half a capsule. So Jenny's asking a direct question about how you use the Terrazyme digestive enzymes for kids. And we just break them open basically and sprinkle half a capsule in some of their food. So very good question, Jenny. Thank you so much for answering that, because I know some of us moms that have kids, hi Nadine, that have kids that maybe have some digestive issues or complain of upset stomach or have problems eating certain foods. This is a great option for them. So the digestive system is actually wrought with digestive enzymes all the way throughout the process, right? Actually, your saliva is the first step to digestion. So when you even start to think about eating food, then your body starts to produce saliva, which is going to be the first part of breaking down food, believe it or not. Then in the stomach, we have pepsin, and you have a very acidic stomach, so start to break down the food. And then, we have from the pancreas, we got a lot of great enzymes that break down starches and proteins and also fats. That's amylase, trypsin, and lipase. And then, of course, we have lots of things in the small intestine. And that's really what we're going to focus on tonight, is what's going on in the small intestine, okay? The small intestine starts right after the stomach and ends before you get to the large colon. Hi, Debbie. And so what I really want to talk to you guys about in the small intestine, which is so important. So think about the stomach as kind of the place where that churning takes place. It's sort of breaking the food down into something called chyme, which is sort of this liquid pasty substance that then moves through our small intestine. Now, this is all fine and good, but you see the little picture on the right, and we talked about these little guys last week, and you're going to hear me talking about them a lot because these guys are extremely important. So on the left is actually what's considered a healthy enterocyte, and these are the cells that line the wall of your digestive system in your small intestine, okay? And it's called the brush border, okay? See how it looks sort of fuzzy? Hi, Jennifer, I see you. Now, and I need to come see you soon at the spa too. I miss seeing you guys. So see all those little hairs on that healthy enterocyte? Those are all digestive enzymes that are lining that enterocyte. And so if we have any sort of abnormality in our gut, let's say that you have any sort of gut dysbiosis, you've been exposed to a parasite in the past, you don't have good gut health in general. We inherit our gut health actually from our mothers and our family and our environment. So if you don't have a very healthy diet, you probably don't have a healthy gut. And so lots of reasons can contribute to an unhealthy gut. But you see the little sick enterocyte on the right. See how those little digestive enzymes have just kind of gone away, and he looks kind of sick and weak. So when the sick enterocytes in gut dysbiosis are very sick, then it doesn't make those little hairs that produce all those digestive enzymes. And why this matters, you guys, is because those digestive enzymes are actually what breaks down the food into the smaller particles that we need to be absorbed in the small intestine so that our body can actually use them to repair cells, to build new cells, for to support our immune system. So that's like on the cellular level, right? We're breaking it down into amino acids, all different types of cellular components that we need for our body to function. So you can understand why there's such a big circulation right now around gut health, because what we're finding is that nutrient deficiencies are just, huge right now because of this, because people are not absorbing. So anything that we can do to assist the process of getting our food broken down into smaller particles to sort of make it a little bit easier on the gut to digest our food, we really want to be doing that. So here's some signs that you may need digestive enzymes. So let's say that you have chronic intermittent diarrhea or constipation, meaning that sometimes you're having okay bowel movements. You may be having a bowel movement every day, or you may not have one for a couple days. And then when you do have one, you have a liquid stool. And just so you know, it's really healthy to be having a bowel movement every day. Some people may have them a couple times a day. That's not necessarily diarrhea. Sallow, or your hair is falling out or is thinning. These are some signs of nutrient deficiencies. If you have floating stools, sorry, we talk about stools a lot in this presentation, but it's just the truth. And sorry, that says malabsorption of fat. So if you ever see your stool actually floating in the toilet after you have a bowel movement, that typically means that you're not digesting fats properly. Abdominal pain or bloating, especially after eating. It is not normal to have abdominal pain after you eat or to have any sort of bloating. That really is a sign that you may be deficient in some of the digestive enzymes that you need to break down food. Or if you're a person that doesn't have a gallbladder, if you were born without a gallbladder, or if you had it removed, remember the gallbladder is an extremely important organ in the digestion of foods. I think modern medicine today has sort of convinced us that we don't need it. So the liver produces bile, which is very important in breaking down fats and other nutrients, and the gallbladder regulates release of that bile. So without that sort of regulatory organ, then the liver can sort of produce bile and release it into the small intestine at a whim. And it can give people really, really bad symptoms without their gallbladder. Lots of diarrhea, lots of what we call malabsorption and difficulty digesting foods and abdominal pain. So how can digestive enzymes help you? So enter in the Digest Zen we call it the Digestion line that doTERRA makes, called Terrazyme. This is a digestive enzyme complex. So you notice a lot of those different enzymes we were talking about up there before can actually be extracted and are in this small pill, right? And so the amylase, the lipase, the protease, these are things that break down proteins, right? Starches and carbohydrates. The lipase breaks down fats. Now, one thing I really want to point out about this digestive enzyme that is really interesting. So research has kind of shown us that there is an aspergillus enzyme that actually helps break down gluten and not allow it to be absorbed into the small intestine. So over 18 million people in the United States today are suffering from some sort of gluten intolerance. Some people on the other end, celiac disease. So that's what's really unique about this digestive enzyme, is it has this aspergillus anti-gluten enzyme blend. And it actually makes and helps gluten from being actually absorbed into the small intestine, which is, for some of us that have an inflammatory effect from gluten. I'm one of those people, so is my husband. Then what a wonderful thing, because as you know, it's almost impossible to be perfect in this day and age as far as we call it getting glutened in a restaurant if you're gluten-free, especially a lot of products that have soy in them have gluten in them, or anytime you eat sort of Asian dishes that have soy, they typically have gluten in them. So that's one unique thing about this digestive enzyme. And so how we like to use this for adults, we recommend, especially if you're just starting out, when I just started out with this, I actually took it on an empty stomach. So we actually recommend you take it on an empty stomach before your meal, okay? And I know that seems a little weird, but we want it to sort of get into the stomach and be basically dissolving that capsule. Then you've got those digestive enzymes sort of there, prepped and ready to go, so that when food enters your digestive tract, they're already there. The capsule's sort of opened up and it's ready to go. Another good reason, like when Jenny asked about dumping it into some milk for kids, that sort of opens up and speeds up the process. So we like to tell you to take this on an empty stomach, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes before your meal. I tell people while you're prepping your meal. And for those of you guys that are having severe effects, I recommend that you try one with every single meal before meals. Now, you guys, this is something I keep in my purse. Like, I just keep a bottle of this in my purse, and I keep a bottle at home. And so I don't necessarily have to take one with every meal, but I want you to know that this is something that you can take situationally. So for instance, I don't have digestive problems every single day, but let's say I go out to dinner and I sort of overeat or eat some things that I really don't agree with me, like cheese, and maybe I'm worried I got some gluten. So that's when I'm going to take a Terrazyme for sure. And, a lot of times too, if I've just eaten a heavy meal or overeaten, it really helps with that. It helps digest your food faster. And I love to take it, especially when I eat like fats, like nuts, heavy avocados, because it's really going to help with breaking down that fat. And you want those fats absorbed into your intestine. We are fat deficient in this society because we used to think that fat is bad, and that's not the case. We need good, healthy fats. And so this can help with that. And so remember, when you think of Terrazyme and using these digestive enzymes, it's all about preparing the food to make it be ready to be absorbed by the small intestine so your body can use it for nutrients to be the building block of cells. Now, I want to go back to what Jenny said. Remember, if you have kids that have digestive issues, this is a great thing to use for them. You can just open up the capsule and use about half a capsule, and you're going to want to put it in the food that they're eating, okay? So applesauce, oatmeal in the morning, you could put it in some milk. My kids love to have a bowl of oatmeal some mornings. That's a perfect thing for it. And you can do a little test with this, and it's really interesting. Just make a bowl of oatmeal and sprinkle a capsule of the digestive enzymes in there, and literally just leave it and let it sit and watch it sort of break down the food. It's actually really incredible. So I hope that helps you guys understand a little bit more about digestive enzymes in our digestive tract, why they are super, super important, and why you should be supplementing with them. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment box, and I will be happy to answer your questions about the Terrazyme blend. It's been something that's been life-changing for us and life-changing for so many people that we've worked with digestive problems. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for sticking with me for a very late Wellness Wednesday. Sorry I couldn't go live at noon today. But again, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll be back next week to talk about week 3.